ユキの全てが愛おしいから。
もっと𝐜𝐻さんを知っていけたらきっと。
もっとユキを知っていけたらきっと。もっともっともっと好きになる。
A Sign of Affection, episode 12, and the ability for this anime to just stir up emotion is something that makes this show so unique and makes you want to just share it out to more people, makes you want to have more folks participate in watching this show. And all too often you see on social media, whether it's like YouTube Shorts or TikTok or Twitter or something, you see folks going to different like cons and stuff and say like, hey, what anime would you recommend? When you get done watching a show like this, it makes you want to like have more of those folks get away a little bit from the mainstream and watch shows like this because they're so unique and they're so special. And A Sign of Affection has just been tip top for the whole season, and it really nailed the subtle complexities of falling in love, and it really nailed the emotional value that one person has to another. Like an example of that subtle complexity or that that perfection of writing is Yuki and 𝐜𝐻𝐻 are sharing a moment in the park, and Yuki, I think she says, maybe kissing's too far, but like I think we should definitely cuddle or whatever. And she basically like is coming at him like, would that be okay? And he kind of lets her know like, hey, if it's you, like everything's okay. And that's really what, that's really what love and that partnership is really, really all about. It's like most things that are off limits for you, like whether it's like your safe zone or your bubble or, XYZ, whatever that is, it's completely on the table for that other person, that you're in love with and you have that partnership with. Like nothing is off the table anymore. Like it's all okay if it's them, And that's further accentuated throughout the episode where, Yuki is taking a picture of 𝐜𝐻𝐻 again in the park. And he's like, you just take a picture of me? And she was like, oh, sorry. He's like, he's like, it's okay if it's you. You know what I mean? It's just like, those are just two small examples here. And there's probably a ton more kind of spread throughout the anime as they're kind of growing accustomed to each other and falling in love and everything else. But, on a go forward basis, one of those things to where it's like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to work is, once you have that love and everything, like nothing is off the table. Like everything is okay if it's you. Like, sure, you might still have like a little gripe or complaint here and there, but for the most part, you're going to let them do it. You know what I mean? And that's reciprocated both ways, and it's a vice versa thing. And I think that's why this show is so special is, and I compare this show, and I've done it in the past, but 𝐻oRoMia, not this missing pieces crap that we got recently, but like the 𝐻oRoMia season 1, it really nailed the complexity of these two younger folks, these two kids falling in love in high school, towards the tail end of high school. So they're, going into adulthood, and it did it pretty quickly, but it nailed the realism of what that looks like, right? The jealousy, the worriness, is she talking to other boys? He talking to other girl? It nailed all those things. And in this sense here, it's like you have somebody in 𝐜𝐻𝐻 who is always sought after in a way, but has never really had that clicking moment of finding somebody where instead of being chased after, he wanted to chase. And upon meeting Yuki, he has a satiation, which basically means like he has this really like strong appetite and really like strong will to go out to the world and experience it. Because of his experiences, he wants to go out there and experience more and put himself in situations where he's dumb and has to be, a chameleon and has to kind of change and has to learn and adapt. And he has this appetite to go and learn more about the world. So when you have somebody at home base, right? Because Japan is his home now. When you have somebody at home base who can fulfill all of those wants at home, right? Like in his home base, you know, you have Yuki, who's kind of like an enigma to him. It's like she sees the world differently. She experiences it differently. She communicates differently. Like all of these things that he goes to other countries to get a fulfillment from, he's able to find it within this person. And I think that's what makes it even more sweeter as they're falling in love, and he gets to see the way that she sees it. And she gets to see the way that he sees it, and it's just like this. It's hard to put into words, but it's like this perfect blend of these two individuals that really goes back to a few episodes ago when Itsumi was talking to Oshikun, and he was telling him, like, whether it happened here or sometime in the future, we would have found each other. And it's that confidence in knowing love. And it's just crazy. He's like, she's it. And it goes back to things I've said before as I've been reviewing this show. It's like, it's so true in life. It's like, when you know. And Itsumi knows. He's like, this is it. Like, she's it. And I think from Yuki's point of view, it's that same feeling of less experience, you know, but when you know, and she knows, like, he ticks boxes that she's barely discovering the box was there. And it's so cool to see. So the only nitpick I have as the season came to an end is I would have, you know, although we did see Emma and whatever the hairstylist dude's name is. I suck with names, guys. But whatever the hairstylist name is, like, I would have loved to have seen that. Iski? No, I don't know. I would have loved to have seen, like, a true moment of them, you know, kind of like Emma giving him an answer and stuff like that. I would have loved to see that. Now, we did get that fast forward, like, going through scenes, and we got to see Yuki's friend be given a ring and then make it official. We got to see Emma and, I guess, ask the hairstylist out on a date, and he held her hand, and, you know, like, it was okay. I would just have loved to have seen a little bit more there because they did build that up on the side. On the side, we did get to see Osh and the other girl who, you know, has it hard for him. You know, these are things that I guess you could say if we get season 2, I'd love to see these things explored more. But if we don't, you know, those are a couple of the things, especially the Emma one, that I would have just loved to see come to a close a little bit better. Obviously, you know, he's a whole nother, you know, beast, like him and that girl. That's a whole nother thing that probably would take a lot more time. But I think Emma and the hairstylist, I think, like, we were right there on the cusp of just giving us like a 2-minute scene of her running to the hair place or his apartment, or them going somewhere and her confessing, you know, or vice versa. Or it's just something I think we could have just been a little bit more satisfied than them just, you know, going on a date and holding hands. Like, I would have just loved to have seen that come to a close a little bit better. So that's my only big nitpick. But regardless, episode 12, awesome. This show, awesome. Loved every moment of it. Awesome. Like, this is one of the best of the season. This might be a very close 10 out of 10 anime. Like, this is like a masterful anime, and one that it's being dubbed currently. I'll rewatch it again when it gets dubbed. I don't know how the dub sounds yet. Hopefully they nailed it. Dub's been pretty good lately. So anyways, this show just absolutely incredible, and it's just really, really good. And this definitely up there in probably like top 5 romance anime. You know, easy. This is probably like number 5. You know, I probably wouldn't say like this is like a number 1 or anything, but it's probably like number 5. But I think it's probably very close to being number 5, if not creeping into the top 5 romance anime. Because if you think back to the ones that are really good, even the ones that are really good, maybe only 2 or 3 of them actually explore true romance. For the most part, it's always like leading up to the kiss, leading up to the holding hands, leading up to the confession. So anyways, that's all I have, guys. Thank you guys for joining me all season long. A Sign of Affection has been awesome. Make sure you guys do me a huge favor. I'm going to be releasing this week, probably tomorrow, my top 10 anime to watch, as well as me going through live charting, like poo-pooing and loving new shows. And we're going to look through trailers and do all that fun stuff as we do every season. So check me out for that. I'll see you then. I'll see you in spring season, my friends. Peace to the East. Peace out.